All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Chakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And basically what I wanted to go into was how we have to rightly divide this word of truth, man. Because when we teach this word, when we're breaking down these scriptures, it's not just about putting shots up, man. It's not just about making these lessons and just doing it randomly, and before we know it, we're breaking scriptures down wrong, man. You see? So we had to make sure that we're rightly dividing the word of truth, because in doing so, we're only ensuring our salvation that much more, man. Because us that are teaching this word, if we're breaking it down wrong, then guess what, man? We're gonna receive we're gonna get judged for that, man. Matter of fact, to prove that, let's go to the book of James. This is the book of James. Let me get this translation. This is the book of James 3 and verse 1. It says, "Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly." So us that actually are teaching and breaking down these scriptures, guess what, man? We're gonna be judged way more strictly. You see, we're gonna be judged on what we teach. We're gonna be judged on how on why we're teaching that, man. The scriptures say that we're gonna have to give an account of every idle word, man. So we have to make sure that everything that we're bringing out that is actually on point, man. That we're not just right here talking, man. It says, Matthew 12 and 36, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment." So in the day of judgment, right? Because the scriptures say what? That we're all gonna have to stand before the mercy seat of Yahushai, man, and receive all the things that we did in our body, whether they be good or bad. So we're all gonna have to stand before Yahushai, and guess what? We're gonna have to give an account thereof in the day of judgment, man. When that day comes, we're gonna be judged on the things that we spoke about, man. That's why we have to make sure that we're doing everything in our power, that we're teaching the right thing, man. Rightly dividing the word of truth. And that makes, and you know what? I say that to say this, man. To perfectly segue into this, we have to study, man. We have to study these scriptures, because studying and actually digesting and sitting there and reading these words and actually sitting there and going into the words and sitting there and actually getting into it, man, all of that really, it increases you in the spirit, man. Because now when you're doing those things, guess what? Now you're getting into the habit of exercising the spirit, man. You're exercising the spirit. And that's what ultimately what you need to do, man. You have to stir up the spirit. You see, we do those things by what? By studying. The scriptures give attendance unto reading, exhortation, and doctrine, right? So if we give attendance unto those things, guess what? We're only sharpening our sword even more. We're only growing in the spirit even more. We're only getting sharper in the scriptures. And guess what? In turn, now we're able to actually... So, Laki, I'm going to let this plane pass by. And now in turn, we're able to rightly divide the word of truth, man. So everything comes together, but it all starts with actually giving attendance unto these things, man. It says, verse 37, Matthew 12 and 37, "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So what we speak, man, that's ultimately what's going to justify us or condemn us, man. If we're speaking the wrong things, bringing out the wrong doctrine, breaking these scriptures down wrong, we don't know what the name is, we're just completely going off of our own minds and stuff, man. Hey, you're going to receive a greater judgment than somebody that's actually teaching the correct thing, man. Because somebody that's teaching the correct thing, guess what? They're not gonna get judged for teaching the word wrong, man. They're gonna get judged for teaching the word correctly, man. And guess what? They're gonna receive a reward for that, man. They're gonna receive a reward. But guess what? Those that actually teach His word and are going off on the doctrine, this is what's gonna happen to them, man. This is Matthew 5. I'm gonna start off at verse 19. It says, Matthew 5:19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach Salakia. It says Matthew 5:19, Salakia. It says Matthew 5:19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. So if you're teaching, brothers, so to speak, if you're teaching them to break the least of these commandments, and not only that, but you're breaking them yourselves, man, and not only that, but you're teaching other men how to do that, guess what, man? You're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven because you're not teaching the correct way, man. You see? Somebody that's teaching the wrong way, guess what? They're going to get judged for that, man. They're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, which shows you that there's levels to this, man. That's why we got to make sure that we teach the correct doctrine, that we're teaching the correct thing, man. Because, hey, we who teach are going to be judged way more strictly. You see? It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So those are the ones that are ultimately what? They're teaching the correct doctrine. And not only that, but they're keeping it themselves, man. They're not being hypocrites and just bringing out these scriptures, so on and so forth, but they're not applying it themselves, man. Nah. That's somebody that ultimately is preaching the correct doctrine. Not only that, but presenting it in their bodies, man, as a living sacrifice, you see? That's somebody that's ultimately what? They're studied, man. Somebody that's able to rightly divide the word of truth. That's somebody that's going to what? Receive that reward, man. And that's what we want. Is that not what we're doing this for, man? We're doing this because, we're going to receive a reward. The Lord is going to give us a reward, man. You see? So if you want that reward, make sure that you're teaching the right thing, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakdash, Shalom, and Abba.